The woman greeted me with the forced enthusiasm of someone pitching extended warranties. That alone should have been my first clue, because my land has never been, at any point in its existence, part of Willowbrook Estates. My 15-acre parcel was here a full decade and a half before their subdivision even existed. But geography apparently wasn't Delea's specialty. She said she'd stop by due to concerns about my fence, motioning toward the basic chain link enclosure I'd put around my vegetable garden to stop deer from turning my tomatoes into their personal buffet line. According to her, my fence failed to meet community standards. News to me, since I wasn't aware I was part of any community that had the power to dictate what I did with my own property. Then she pulled out a clipboard from thin air and informed me that the HOA covenants required all fencing to be white vinyl, at least 6 feet tall, with decorative post caps. Mine, she noted, was galvanized steel mesh about 4 feet tall with plain metal posts and was, in her words, damaging everyone's property values in ways that would make Adam Smith cry. Being a polite Midwesterner who hadn't yet learned how to tell entitled people where to shove their opinions, I foolishly said I'd look into it rather than point out that their HOA had absolutely zero legal authority over land that existed long before their developer even had a blueprint. 2 weeks later, a violation notice showed up via certified mail, with the full theatrics of a federal indictment. A $500 fine for installing an unauthorized fence, plus $50 per day in additional penalties after 30 days if I didn't comply. When I called the number on the letterhead to explain that my land wasn't governed by their HOA, Delea's sugary phone voice froze over faster than a Minnesota lake in January. She insisted every property in the vicinity fell under HOA control and suggested I was mistaken about my own boundaries. An ironic claim coming from someone who treated property law like a loose guideline, rather than something legally binding. Then she pulled out a clipboard from thin air and informed me that the HOA covenants required all fencing to be white vinyl, at least 6 feet tall, with decorative post caps. Mine, she noted, was galvanized steel mesh about 4 feet tall with plain metal posts and was, in her words, damaging everyone's property values in ways that would make Adam Smith cry.
That night, I did what any self-respecting engineer does when someone tries to bury them under bogus technical jargon. I went to the county records office first thing the next morning and pulled every document, survey, and legal filing going back to 1987. What I found in those dusty archives didn't just prove